Sorry, my name is Saudi and I'm a senior. I'm from Dominican Republic in New York City, and I don't know, I play rugby at Brown. I have been part of a few clubs, but yeah, that's like my main commitment. The dating scene at Brown, at first when I arrived, I felt like it was like full of a lot of possibility, but then I realized that like because our campus is a lot more, I guess, segregated than I thought it was when I first got here. I realized that the dating scene isn't actually as open as I thought it was gonna be, for a number of reasons. I don't know. I think like in the most intimate ways, like Brown students are actually very like, I don't know, we kind of segregate a lot. And I don't think that we talk about that when we first get here. Like in those brochures about awesome and great our campus is, I feel like our deepest friendships are very much people who are a lot like us. And so when it comes to the dating scene, the same thing kind of happens. So I feel like there are a lot of students here, but the possibilities are actually really limited.
Hmm.
I think that there's a certain amount of discomfort for me personally as a woman of color walking into some spaces on campus where I know that if a party scene is a sexual marketplace, my value is not nearly as worthy for some people as it is of, you know, the heteronormative, you know, white, female, traditional beauty. And so I think that that's a discussion that a lot of people are not having on campus, and that makes people uncomfortable. But I have definitely seen party scenes where women of color are not, they're never like, they're just like marginalized, is what I'm trying to say. And so if it's a competition, then it's definitely not one that I think someone who looks like me can kind of win.
So this football party.
Yeah, so I went to this one football party. It was the first time ever. I had never even gone to any of those parties, like, because it just wasn't my scene.
What do you
So,
mean by
like,
those parties?
I mean, like sports team parties, kind of like, I mean, I'm in a sports team, obviously, but like we're all girls and we party, like, it's very, I guess it's a little different. We don't throw ragers, we just like hang out. And so I went to this big house party, and it was like, you know, filled with people, and there was music and alcohol, and there were a lot of girls that I know are like, for example, in sororities, and a lot of girls that, you know, like, it felt like that sexual marketplace that I was talking about before, in terms of like people were dressed up, and it was kind of like, obviously, like, that's, you dress up and you go and you try to hook up, right? But there were women of color there, and it was very frustrating because like it was just very strange. Like, they were frustrated because like they were just being ignored. Like, it was like fucking weird. And like I was like in my mom jeans and my like freaking like shirt, like just like hanging out and like being obnoxious. And like maybe for them, like they felt like they were not getting any attention from anybody there, because they're women of color and everyone else there was like white. But it just felt like a situation that I would never want to put myself in ever again. That I just felt like I was like marginalized from that space. I call it the Get Laid Olympics, because clearly you have to be a pro to get any on this campus. But I just felt like this is like, I just didn't want that. I just didn't want to be a part of that at all. So, yeah. I do think that there's a section of the population on campus that is stereotyped as men who only date white women. And I've been warned, don't crush on so-and-so, he only dates white women. And I was like, I mean, that's cool. And I just didn't take it personally, because I understood that like there's a history of internalized racism and hatred, and that's not gonna get erased over time. So that's why like I make my political choices in my dating life, which is like ridiculous that I have to do that, but I have to do that because that's just how it is. So I mean, I don't blame the people who only want to date white people, but yeah.